Governor Maura Healey could face a primary challenger next year. We've learned activist Andrea James has submitted preliminary paperwork to campaign finance regulators. That's the step that candidates take if they intend to run. James, who would run as a Democrat, is an advocate for incarcerated women. She was sentenced to 2 years in prison herself for wire fraud. Meantime, Governor Healey has already said she's running again. She's the first candidate to formally announce. Here to talk more about Governor Healey, NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell. So let's start with her decision to run again, Sue. Does she have an argument for another term?
Sure. The quick answer, Glenn, is that she will cite the progress that she made in her first term, particularly around the MBTA and free community college, just to name a couple. And then she can say she has more to do for the Commonwealth, as she has. And if she's a nimble candidate, the areas where the success has been harder to achieve, like housing, Healey will make the case that she and her team need another term in order to forward their agenda to success.
Okay, well, Governor Healey has long been opposed to the ideas and policies of Donald Trump. We all know that. We saw it when she was Attorney General, suing the first administration several times. But now as governor, she runs the risk of losing out on federal funding. Trump is always threatening to stop the money flow if you oppose him. So how does she strategically resist but not put the state in a tough spot?
Yeah, she would argue she was suing for the law, not against Trump or the administration. And the good news, though, for Healey is that she's not the Attorney General this time. Andrea Joy Campbell is. So Healey doesn't have to make that call of what and when to sue. And as governor, she's in pretty good company. There's a lot of governors in the U.S., including some Republicans, who see themselves as the last line of defense against some of the federal cuts coming out of the Trump administration for their states and commonwealths. And look, the reality is that Massachusetts was already in Trump's sights, and our federal funding was in jeopardy no matter if Massachusetts or Healey or Andrea Joy Campbell sue him or not, Glenn.
I suppose that's true. You've been telling me about this conversation Governor Healey has with the New York Times magazine this weekend. She was asked about the Democratic Party's brand, but doesn't offer much in the way of firm suggestions. So let me ask you the same question. What's the identity of the Democratic Party right now, and how should it be sold to voters in the age of Trump?
You know, I saw a joke on Blue Sky over the weekend. When voters say to Democrats, "My house is on fire," the Democrats say, "Houses have been on fire since there were houses, and there are fewer houses on fire than ever." Isn't that great? And I think I would argue the answer should be, "I'm sorry your house is on fire. How can we help you to rebuild?" I think that's the message that Democrats have to get out there.
All right, I'm going to think about that for a minute. That's a big shift, I guess, in what we've heard and what you think they should be saying.
Right.
All right, NBC political reporter, commentator Sue O'Connell. Sue, thanks very much.
Thanks, Glenn.